Hey y'all, I'm Brer Sam, and this is one of my movie reviews. Today I am reviewing The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland. This was one of the first movies that I ever saw. I mean, ever. So of course I loved it when I was a little kid. I mean, how bad can it be? It's Sesame Street. I also remember being proud of Elmo, sort of, for making his first movie, because the DVD box said Elmo in his first movie. And for a while I thought it was the first Sesame Street movie, but it's not. They had done another movie before, and I think it was still technically Elmo's first movie, because he's not an original Muppet. The Muppets have been around since the 50s, but Elmo made his debut like much later, so there's a chance that he hadn't made his debut when the first Sesame movie was made. So I'm gonna say, after watching it again, it might be a good introduction to film for children, because it has sort of a basic story that children would understand. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland. You come across something strange or dangerous or an obstacle, you have an encounter with it, maybe try to save your life from it, and then you just move on to the next strange thing. And that's sort of what Elmo does here. So you have the story where Elmo has his favorite thing, a throw blanket, and that's what most children his age have, so they could relate to that. And ultimately, he loses the blanket. It ends up in Oscar's trash can. Elmo goes down to get it, and instead of getting the blanket, he gets sucked into this colorful portal thing that leads to Grouchland, a land where it's all grouches who are just like Oscar, who are not a good welcoming committee, as you would expect with people like Oscar. And then soon a human grouch named Huxley, played by Mandy Patinkin, takes Elmo's blanket for himself, and Elmo has to go great lengths to get it back from him. And that's where the coming across the strange things, and just encountering things like a road trip movie plays out. But unlike most road trip movies or fantasy movies like Alice in Wonderland, all these obstacles are staged by Huxley. He's toying with Elmo, and it's actually a lot of fun. And the obstacles that Elmo comes across are really creative. There's a dark tunnel with a swarm of fireflies. There's a garbage kingdom where the queen is played by Vanessa Williams, and she sings really well. And then there's a giant chicken that tries to eat Elmo, and he's hilarious. So watching this film again, it has good moments, and it's got good people. I mean, this was my first glimpse of Mandy Patinkin's career. I was a kid. I had to watch a kid's film, and he just happened to be in it. And most people recognize him from stuff like Homeland or The Princess Bride or more recently Wonder. And as a matter of fact, I think Elmo should have showed up in his lair and said, "Hello, Huxley! You stole Elmo's blanket! Prepare to die!" Yeah. But I am going to give Mandy Patinkin credit for that character, because he sort of takes your typical bratty child who doesn't know how to share it and turns it into something really entertaining. And yeah, he's a little kid in a grown-up body who can't share but somehow has a ton of power. So that was a lot of fun to watch. I think encountering him actually taught Elmo something, because I remember there's a moment where he says Elmo wants to get his blanket back from Huxley because it's mine, and the Queen of Trash says, "Oh, you certainly sound like Huxley." And then Elmo has a flashback of him not sharing his blanket with Zoe, and when I was a little kid, I didn't understand the point of that. I thought it was just rewinding, and then it went back, and I'm like, whoa, what just happened? But watching it again, I realized that Elmo was actually realizing that he sounded exactly like Huxley just by saying it's mine. Because that's Huxley's thing. He has a whole machine that just stamps the word mine on something. And while we're on the subject of the Queen of Trash, Vanessa Williams did a good job playing her. or like she has the sass, and she's not technically grouchy like most people in Grouchland, but she certainly has the sort of unhappy vibe, but she ultimately is friendly with Elmo, and that's kind of nice. And the song she sings, it's very good. I like it. It's sort of like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, or yeah, it's literally implied in the lyrics. It's about your point of view, and if you try, you can see it. Yeah, it's cool like that. And the rest of the songs are all right too. I mean, the best song in there is sung when Elmo comes across this talking plant, weed, I don't know what he is, but he sings the best song about taking the first step and just going on your way, and the rest will come naturally. It's cool. And also the song Huxley sings, it's catchy and it's fun to listen to. Villain songs are always fun for me to listen to, so that's all right. So you can tell from the way I'm talking about it that this film still holds up for me. And do I have any problems with it? Maybe that whole chase scene with the blanket and running into Cookie Monster and Telly on roller skates, and yeah, maybe that wasn't really necessary, but it added an action sequence to it. But you don't really want to have an action sequence right in the beginning of the film, because I don't know. For adults, it might get a little bit tiring, but I don't know. It's a nitpick. But some of my favorite scenes in there actually have Bert and Ernie, and they're not actually part of the story. They're actually sort of hosting it. Like, they're introducing it. They say like, "Oh, hey, yeah," and we'd like you to join us in this movie or whatnot. Like, like most Sesame Street stuff. My favorite moment with those two in this entire movie is that sometimes they pause at certain points just to explain what's going on, but there's one moment where Bert thinks that the movie is over. It has a sad ending because Elmo still hasn't gotten his blanket back, and Ernie says, "Who'd want to see a movie with a sad ending?" And Bert says, "Titanic had a sad ending." And it's actually a really good point. I mean, Titanic. I mean, poor Jack. So yeah, this is a pretty decent Sesame Street movie. It's got cool stuff. I do like the tolls that Elmo's journey takes. I do like Mandy Patinkin. I do like Vanessa Williams, and I do like a lot of the music. So overall, it holds up all right for me. If you haven't seen it, I'd say check it out. See if you can tolerate the smell of Oscar's trash can, and head on over to Grouchland. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Bye!